Hello, lovelies. It is I, Danielle Hernandez, here with a pick a card reading for you. So, I'm doing the cards facing me. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3. And in this reading, we will be exploring what is it that I need to work on? What is it that I must do next? So, take a breath. Choose your piles, and let's begin. Okay, if you chose pile number 1. Pile number 1. So this is the Shadowscape's Tarot, and this represents what shadow work you need to explore. What aspects of ourselves are asking for our attention. So you have the Ten of Swords, the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Wands. Okay, let's start with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords comes up when there has been some kind of betrayal. The Ten of Swords is the end of the pile, and swords always deal with your mental realm. So the Ten of Swords means there's been some kind of betrayal and it's over now. The worst has come and it's done. There's nothing left to be experienced from whatever it is that put you in this situation. So in terms of shadow work, it's time to explore where that sense of betrayal is coming from. What part of you is hurting? What part of you is aching? Then you get the Empress. The Empress is a card about creative energy. The Empress is the woman who has it all. She's in the garden. She knows that she is full of power and that she has the power to gift beautiful things to the world and to herself. She's a nurturer. She is a good partner. And again, she's filled with creative energy. So this coming up in your shadow work pile means, what is it that you want to be creating? What is it that is on your mind, in your heart, that you're wanting to bring into reality, but you feel like you can't? Especially coming directly after the Ten of Swords. In this deck, the swords are all of these birds just lashing at this person who is completely in surrender. There's no defense against them. So, what was it that had to be surrendered? What was it that you wanted to create that you feel has been taken away? And next you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of traditions. Think of religious traditions especially, because this is the male equivalent of the High Priestess. So this is all about social traditions and keeping up with what we were raised. So the ideas, our belief systems. You're being asked, explore your belief systems. Is this working for me? Is this not? Why is it or why is it not? Why do I not believe I can be creating this thing? Why do I believe I suffered this betrayal? Remember, our beliefs are real. Whether or not they're real to the rest of the world, we believe them for a reason. So if they're causing us pain, if they're causing us suffering, it's up to us to dig deeper and to decide, do I want to keep this belief? Is it worth keeping? If I do, why? If I don't, why not? Your next card's the Ten of Wands. So you start with a 10 and you end with a 10. This tells me that some kind of cycle has completed, because the Ten of Wands is a card where burdens are being lifted. A card where there have been heaviness, there's been aching, but now you have completed it. It's done and your heaviness now lifts. So, in terms of shadow work, it's good to explore what type of heaviness you've been living under. And what is it that's coming up for you that is a turnaround from that? Because it is coming. Okay, this next pile are your advice cards. So, for advice, you have the Eight of Swords, the Four of Cups, and Temperance. Interesting. Okay, the Eight of Swords is a card of feeling like you're going through an experience alone, completely alone. Here you see a woman blindfolded, surrounded by swords, but in this situation, the woman has the option to remove her blindfold, to remove her arms. The thing that is keeping her bound are her own thoughts and beliefs. So you had swords in the other pile and the Hierophant, which is all about our deep belief systems, core values. And now you have the Eight of Swords. So this is asking us to look at what are the core values that are just really making us feel constricted. Perhaps you're a person who has a very strict regiment. I get up at a certain time, I go to work at a certain time, I come home at a certain time, and if you don't do those things, maybe you feel easily thrown off. Or maybe you're a person who has a lot of responsibilities. Maybe you're responsible for the livelihoods of other people, and you feel, if I don't take care of these things, who's gonna do it? And you spiral. These are just suggestions. You know what the situation is. But the Eight of Swords is asking you to seek the advice of a friend, to consult perhaps a therapist, but to seek some type of respite for your mind, because you are, no one wants to hear it, but it's the source of our pain is how we're looking at a situation. And it can be undone. It can be removed. You don't have to stay stuck there. The Four of Cups comes up, and this is a card of apathy or boredom. It's a card where you're reflecting on love past or some type of happier times. You're looking at what once was. And the thing about the Four of Cups is there's an offer here. You're being offered new things, but our back is to that offer. So turn around and shift your perspective. The Four of Cups is saying, what else is around you? What else wants to give you its love, wants to give you its appreciation? Who is out there who wants to help, or perhaps has advice that can really assist you right now? It's okay to look back on better times with fondness, but it's not okay to ignore the present and to fail to live up to our standards, because there is something better for us out there if we are only so bold as to look. Now, your final advice card is Temperance. Temperance is a balancing card. And think about everything that came up for you. You are being asked to balance your duties, balance mind and heart, balance whatever it is that's making you feel constricted, that is causing this complete stress and burnout. What is it that you feel you must do, and how can you change the routine? How can you change up the little things that add to the bigger picture? Temperance also talks about balancing what we take into our bodies. So what nourishment is our soul asking for? What type of nourishment are you giving your body that maybe isn't working anymore? Everything has a time, everything has a season. And so it's time for some type of change in the routine, some type of change in what we're putting into our systems, what we're putting into our minds, what we're ingesting in our souls. What news are you taking in? What is it that you're wanting to put out? Ask yourself these questions, because Temperance is offering you a solution once you balance the two. Take your inspiration and take your dreams and mix them together so that they get the drive they need to come forward. Okay. Your last two cards are what's on my conscious or subconscious. So for this, I'm taking upright cards as it's on your mind consciously. I'm taking reverse cards as it's on your subconscious and you don't even realize you're thinking about it. So we have the Three of Swords and the Four of Wands. Okay. So the Three of Swords is a card of heartache. If you look at it, you see this tree is being pierced by three swords, and on that tree is a heart. This is a card of heartache and heartbreak. So there has been some type of devastating loss when the Three of Cards comes up. Something that shattered our thoughts and belief system. And there were a lot of swords in this reading, so it's really been in our mind, and it's really made us question everything that we believe. And then the Four of Wands is a card of stability, unions. It's also known as the marriage card. This could quite literally be a marriage that was broken up or a union that was dissolved. It could be some type of business union that just didn't work out, even though there were high hopes, and so it caused a lot of pain and suffering for people. But on the mind is what didn't work out and why your stability is disrupted. So, in terms of these cards, this is what's on your mind, and these cards, this is the shadow work that you're being asked to do. Remember, your thoughts and beliefs, your burdens being lifted. What am I creating? And the betrayal that started all of this. Your advice is to seek help because you feel like you're going through this alone. To turn around with a fresh perspective because you have all of these offerings waiting for you, but you're stuck staring at once was. And to balance home life, balance career life, balance the entertainments that we take in, balance exercise. Balance is the name of the game here. Okay, card pile number 1. My heart goes out to you. I can see this was a very, very difficult situation. Good luck on your journey. And now we're going to move on to pile number 2. Pile number 2. Okay, if you chose pile number 2, here are your cards. This deck represents the shadow work that we're being asked to do. You have the 5 of Swords reversed, the 2 of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the 5 of Swords generally deals with fighting dirty. In this case, it's reversed. So you could consider that you had to be on the defensive to someone else who was fighting dirty with you. The 5 of Swords is about overpowering whatever needs to be overpowered. It's about winning at any cost. So in this case, you're being asked a question. What in my life was going on that made me feel like I was in this situation, that made me feel like I had to fight for my life? The 5 of Swords really wants us to analyze how we treat our friends or how our friends treat us, and are we okay with that? Is that meeting our needs? Why or why not? Then you have the 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles, as you can see, is a card of juggling. This is about juggling hearth and home. This is about juggling responsibilities with what our self needs are. This can also be a card of overwhelm, so feeling overwhelmed by everything on our plate. The 2 of Pentacles is also dealing with our physical world. So it deals with our job or multiple jobs. Perhaps you work a lot of jobs. In fact, it's likely that you do. Who is around us in these jobs, and our own stability. It can be a card of, I don't feel like I can get my needs met if I don't do all these things. So that's something to reflect on and be like, okay, well, where do I have security? Where do I have support? Where is it in my life that I can find balance so that I don't have to juggle all of these things? Who can help me? Who do I trust? These are questions that you really want to ask yourself in this time. And then you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is someone making an offer. The Knight of Cups is about finding beauty in our lives. This is perhaps romantic. It could be a friend, it could be platonic, but it is a Knight of Cups, so there's generally a feeling of romance. So is this someone that you had high hopes for and it didn't work out, or is this someone new that you've just met and you're hoping things might come to be, but you don't know? This is a new person. And then you have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a card of fiery energy. Wands always deal with your social life. It always deals with your work life. It deals with how we actively move forward. So the Ace of Wands is a new beginning. It's a new beginning in your social realm or your work sphere. So this could be a new job. This could be a new friend. This could be a new project that you're wanting to create. So when the Ace of Wands comes up, this is saying strike while the fire is hot. do it. Don't delay. Don't overthink the process. Take the ideas that you have in your mind and run with them. Because right now there's a lot of creative energy and momentum behind you. So this is a very encouraging card. So this is the shadow work, the work of our subconscious that has to be addressed, that's asking for your attention. Now, I have here from the ShadowLight Tarot 2 cards to represent our conscious or our subconscious. So if it's upright, it's on our mind consciously. If it is reversed, then it's in our subconscious and we don't even know that it's running our thoughts right now. Here we have the 6 of Cups and the Fool. So the 6 of Cups is known as the nostalgia card. It's sort of reflecting on happier times, generally times in childhood when things were easier, we had people taking care of us. The 6 of Cups can come up when we're sort of feeling jaded or even a little bitter. So what is it that you're feeling bitter about? What is it that has left this shaken feeling within you? Because then you have the Fool. So the Fool is a new beginning. This is all about leaps of faith and trusting where there is zero. Also, it's card 0. Trusting where there is zero evidence that this thing may work out. But innately, you know it will. You just feel absolutely driven to do this thing. You have been thinking about it. You have been dreaming about it. So the Fool is absolutely a leap of faith card. It's encouragement, especially paired with the Ace of Wands. You have a lot of momentum on your side, and the spirit realm is like, go, 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 do it, do it, do it. Okay, so let's look at your advice cards. Your advice cards from the Crystal Reflections Tarot is the Lovers, the 5 of Swords. Oh, wow, you got 5 of Swords reversed and upright, and the World. Okay. So first, the Lovers. The Lovers is, of course, a wonderful card. It has romance in it, it has friendship in it, but the Lovers is more than that. The Lovers is a card about choice, actually. Here, you have 2 people who are embracing each other because they've chosen one another. But here you also have the principles of masculinity and femininity. This is the principle of, again, the conscious and the subconscious forming one unit. This is about choice. It also heralds that there could be something you have to choose between 2 different paths. So what is it that you have opportunity-wise, or perhaps a new direction that you're looking to move in? What is it that you are needing to choose between? Because you must choose with discernment. The Lovers card comes to us when we really have to weigh out our options and decide, because there's no going back. The Lovers say, pick wisely, because this will be the path. So there's no right or wrong here. It's really more about using discernment and really moving in alignment consciously with your desires and your plan of action. So manifestation is at work here. And then you get the 5 of Swords again. So the 5 of Swords upright. Again, this is someone fighting dirty to win at no matter what, at what cost. And probably the cost was you. Or are you this friend? I feel like because you got it reversed in the shadow work pile, that something was done to you, and that now you actually have the opportunity. This is a card that comes up when we have the opportunity to take revenge, and it's very tempting. We're human, we have needs, we hurt. And when people are hurt, we feel the desire to hurt the people that did it to us in the first place. But you get the 5 of Swords right after the Lovers. So the Lovers is asking you to choose love, to act from a higher mindset, because this is an option. This is absolutely an option for you, but this is generally never an option that works out well, or it will have undesired consequences. It will have results that you weren't prepared for. Your other card is the World. The World is an amazing card. The World is about fulfillment. It's about completion of a cycle. The World is literally at your feet, my loves. When the World comes to us, it's saying new opportunities, new jobs, travel, a move even. The World is also about having our inner resources able to help us fulfill the lives that we want to drive in this physical realm. So I would say, because of the way this came out, the Lovers is telling you, you have a choice. You can take revenge. You absolutely can. It's not going to be satisfying, though. Or you can choose to take that new path, take that new opportunity, whatever it may be, and the world is at your feet, and it will be so good. It's going to be even better than you can possibly imagine, because you have the Fool here, leaps of faith, and you have the Ace of Wands, which is saying, do it. Do it now. So, that is your pile read, my pile number 2s. I hope this helps, and good luck on your journey. Okay. Now we're going to move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3. If you chose this pile, then this is the shadow aspects that we are being called to work on. Here we have Strength reversed, the Moon reversed, the Fool reversed. Oh, that's so interesting. We had the Fool in the other pile too. And 6 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. Pile number 3. I'm feeling a lot of intensity from what it is that you are going through. When you get Strength reversed, Strength is usually a card of drive and having the capacity to deal with whatever is going on in our lives. When Strength is reversed, you're feeling overwhelmed. You feel like, I literally can't do this. I cannot do it. There is no way. So this is feeling overwhelmed, feeling powerless even. When Strength reversed comes up, we are really being asked to explore where our strength comes from and why. Why do you feel like you can't do it? Whatever it may have been. Because then you also get the Moon reversed. So the Moon reversed is, there's sadness behind this. I mean, look at the Moon. It's literally making a frowny face. The Moon reverse talks about betrayals. It talks about people who done you dirty. There's also the capacity that there were not good friends or you were not a good friend in whatever the situation is. Because the Moon deals with illusions. It deals with not having all of the information for a circumstance. So however, whatever happened here, the way that it was handled ended up hurting you. However it was handled, there's also a lot of sexual energy in these cards when they are reversed. This is about needing to balance your sexual desires. It could be that there are many partners, so just be cautious and make sure you are acting responsibly and safely for yourself and whoever you are with. Or it could be that there is such an intense desire for sexual partners that it's sort of clouding our judgment, and it's definitely causing us to act in ways that is not serving us. Because now you have the Fool reversed. The Fool is generally a card of leaps of faith. But when the Fool is reversed, it's about not believing that there's any choice for you here, that there are no options. It's letting the fears constrict us. Before we had the 8 of Swords in another reading, and that's the same energy. We're totally restricted and by our beliefs and our mindsets. The Fool is usually driven by inspiration, by a deep inner calling. So when the Fool reversed comes up, you're not moving on, you're not taking new beginnings, and as these are your shadow work cards, this is what you're being asked to reflect on. What am I not moving on about? What relationship, I'm going to say relationship disaster, honestly, based on these layouts. What relationship disaster was it that occurred? What happened to my trust? And a deep, deep, deep need to learn to trust yourself. Here, with Strength reversed and the Fool reversed, there's a deep lack of faith in the self. And this is for reasons. We always have reasons to not trust ourselves. In fact, we're often taught out of our inner trust. This is because of socialization. To be raised in the social group, we have to obey certain laws, rules, hygiene, all sorts of things. It could be minute details that have us so uprooted, but it's up to you, and it is in fact your calling to explore what these things are and to really pick new options, not just different, new options, so that you can really bring yourself out of this, out of these skewed desires. There's definitely blinders on. There's definitely, again, there was some type of relationship despair, because these are 3 major arcana cards. So that means it's dealing with our life, big life experiences. This also talks about like delays in trips, like things have been halted. Again, you're at a stop or a standstill. There's a lot of stuck energy. Okay. But then you get the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is a card of generosity. If you look closely, you'll see that as this little fella up here plays his instrument, he's gifting music to the world, and from the water flows this wealth, and from that wealth, a little plant is growing. When this card comes up, it's a card about teamwork. It's a card about really bringing forces together for the greater good. Normally, I don't like when I hear for the greater good, but there are times when it's actually for the greater good. And in this circumstance, I'm definitely getting that energy. 6 of Pentacles, again, is grounded. Pentacles deal with long bouts of time, our physical bodies, the work that supports us, the types of things that we do. Pentacles govern money and stability. So here in your shadow work pile, it could be that you're being called to do some type of volunteer work just to get you out of this rut. It could be that you are being invited to some new group, something that's really going to work out for you, and you haven't done it. You haven't rolled with it, but perhaps you should. Things to think about. Okay. Now, in your advice cards, we have the 6 of Cups. Oh, you get the 6 of Cups too. That came up in pile number 2. The Sun and the Ace of Cups. Wow. That's a completely different energy from the shadow work you're being asked to do. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is known as the nostalgia card. It's also a card that comes up when we feel a little bitter, a card that comes up when we're kind of getting jaded with the way things were or how things ended up panning out. The 6 of Cups also reflects on times where things felt easier, times when we were nurtured or cared for in a different way. Think of parent-child, when the parents really know how to be there and the child feels uplifted and supported. In fact, in this card, that's exactly what you're seeing here. This beautiful woman and this child, and it's happening in the waterscape because cups always deal with emotions. So this card is asking you to remember the beautiful things in life, because there are beautiful things, and we can become so jaded that we can't even see the sun shine. And here you have the sun. So when the 6 of Cups is paired with the sun, it's saying, hey, literally look on the bright side of life. There's so much to be grateful for, and there's so much being offered to you. Sometimes people don't want to hear that you need to be grateful, and that's okay. It's because we've gone through so much that we literally can't take it anymore. But the sun comes up when it's a card of victory. It's a card of the harsh times are over. They're over. You have gone through it. You have grown from the experience, and so much is being offered to you. The sun is life. The sun is the battery pack that literally drives everything in the world. And the sun is an eternally abundant source of energy, wealth, and abundance. So this card is saying, believe that it's coming to you. And even if you don't believe, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout at things that just really light you up, things that make you smile, things that make you feel warm, like the sun. Because now you've got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is new beginnings in relationships. The Ace of Cups could be a new romance on the horizon, could be a new friendship on the horizon. It's not strictly romantic, but it is emotional. So something new and fulfilling is waiting for you. It's right next to the sun. So when you look on the brighter side of life, you're going to find it. You're going to find this remarkable chalice that's offering you so much. You may not even believe it's real, but you are being offered this new chance, this new opportunity, and it's up to you to take it. Remember, the Fool reversed was here before. It's saying you've already done it. You've already done the I'm not going to try new things. I've already experienced the this is what stuck feels like in my life is never going to change. So try something new. Movement is always the best way to get out of being stuck. Movement in any way. Dance, laugh, even if you just stretch for 5 minutes, 5 seconds. That's putting new energy in a stuck format, a stuck mind. So let the sun shine in your life. And let's see. Here we have the ShadowLight deck. This is what's on your mind. Upright is consciously on your mind. Reversed is going to be in your subconscious. And you get the Lovers. We had the Lovers before as well. Wow, there's a lot of similarities between pile 1 and pile 2. And then we get the King of Swords. Okay. Okay. I'm getting a lot from this. The Lovers. The Lovers is a card of choice. This is the choice to love. Love may not always be romantic. Often it is. Not all the time. The Lovers, in this case, from the energy that I'm getting, is saying that it's time to make a choice to move on. Because these other cards were saying that you haven't moved on and it has not served you and it's actually been hurting you. So when the Lovers card comes up, you're being weighed with opportunities, and use discernment, okay? When the Lovers comes up, really contemplate which thing do I want, which thing do I not, because there's no turning back. This is a new life path. When the Lovers comes up, especially here next to the King of Swords, the King of Swords is a professional man. He's an analytical thinker. He's someone who is very good at tactics. Usually when this card comes up, I think of lawyers. He could also be someone in the military, but this is a professional man. So with him coming up next to the Lovers, I'm feeling like it's actually some type of legal matter that you have to make a choice on. Some type of legal matter that will change your life in the long run. So in what way do you want to move? Remember, your advice is to remember the beauty in life, to find what it is that the sun is offering you, and to take that new beginning, the bountiful beginning, because it's being offered to you. So seek counsel. The King of Swords could also come up when you are being recommended to talk to a therapist or someone who has good advice. Maybe you need to seek counsel before you make this choice, but a new choice must be made, and it's going to be lovely. This is a lovely bout of advice cards. Okay, pile number 3. I hope this helps. Good luck on your journey. If you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, I do that. So check the description below and reach out. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day, evening. It's Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. Be well, and we'll see each other soon.